Hi there. Let's talk about stingy versus generous boyfriends in relationships. By the way, guys, do you believe there are stingy people out there and also we have generous people out there, more so in the context of relationships, in essence, in love setting? Let's talk about all that, but even so, comment down below in the comment section. Have you ever had an experience, for example, with a stingy person? Or have you even had an experience with a generous person? Share with us your story about money and love in the comment section down below. Let's continue discussing them. But in this video, I'm going to share with you my perspective with regards to matters money in relationship. Of course, people out there say, for example, there are stingy partners and even there are generous partners out there. Let's talk about all that. Money is a very hot topic in relationships out there, whether it is people at the phase of attraction, people who are dating, or even people out there who are in very serious committed relationships. You are all much welcome to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afaga Sifuna. And by the way, if you're new here, kindly consider subscribing to this channel. Subscribe for you to be getting such awesome videos on matters money and people out there each and every day. Thanks for subscribing. Having said that, we all know money is a very hot topic in relationships. And that's why these traits around people's spending habits, people's belief in money matters come to the public sphere most of the times. Branding people out there, for example, someone is stingy, other person is generous. And of course, when most people out there say someone is stingy, is essentially they are saying that person is not easy for them to fork out their money, for people out there to be able to consume it, or even for people out there to be able to use their money in whichever way they want. And when they say someone is generous, it only means that actually this person is out there giving money without much second thought to it. At the end of the day, what do you think is the best option in a relationship? For you as an individual, assuming you're a man out there watching this video, what is the best deal for you in a relationship? Do you need to be stingy or do you need to be generous? Share your thoughts down below. And also for ladies, what do you think is the best option for you? Of course, be objective, also understanding, and also or even assuming this is the kind of person you're looking to spend the rest of your life with. In essence, you're looking at a very serious, long-term, committed relationship. And before we even jump into dissecting matters money in a relationship, let's first of all understand the origin of all this. Guys, as a world, we're coming from a point whereby for most societies out there, for the longest time, it has been patriarchal society, whereby men out there were the ones who are controlling power, were controlling resources, including money, and also were giving direction for their entire families, right? But with the current evolution in the world, more so in the business front, economic front, and also interaction and also equity front out there, we have also seen women out there getting empowered, whereby we have women in society out there getting educated at the highest levels out there. We have women in society out there getting even the most plum of jobs out there. With this, it tells you that also they have been able over time to scale up their earning propensity. And with that, also women out there have money. And in fact, a good number of women out there earn more money than their partners. Given that's the case, do you still think, for example, it is the man's duty to be able to provide to the woman full-time? Even so, if a woman out there is earning more than this man is earning, what do you think about that? And even beyond that, do you think, for example, they need to pull their resources together? All these I'm going to be discussing in this video. So watch the whole of this video for you to get the bigger picture. But I personally think with the current evolved system, we need to all embrace new means through which we can work together for us to be able to pool our resources for the betterment of the entire unit. Because if it is a serious commitment relationship whereby it is a marriage or something like that, people need to come together for them to be able to build together. And actually, it is through the synergies in the money front that someone can be able to realize a faster growth and even a faster increase in their wealth. Having said that, when it comes to matters money and love, the very first thing someone needs to be very clear on, and even it's going to assist them manage their expectation, is to be very clear with regards to what the fundamentals or even what the explicits of that kind of relationship they are having are. And I'm saying so because in the recent times, we have seen all type of relationships out there sprouting up. For example, we have serious committed relationships out there. Also, we have casual relationships out there. And even for Kenya specifically, talking about people out there joking about babas and stuff like that. So, I think the two people need to be in very clear context with regards to what the mechanisms of that relationship is. For example, if it's casual, then you don't really need to expect your partner to be really facilitating your financial needs all throughout, because you're talking about someone who don't really have a long-term horizon kind of relationship, which is very committed. So with that, personally, I think you all need to be able to bear your own financial obligations unless it is very explicit with regards to what your agreement is, right? And in case you are in a very committed relationship, talk about marriage, or even you talk about maybe someone being your fiancé and stuff like that, that is the front in which you need to pull together for you to be able to plan and actually implement how you can be able to work together for you to realize the bigger financial goal. Eliminating things like, for example, someone is stingy, someone is generous and stuff like that, because all these things, you're going to be able to address them through proper financial planning. And that is what I want to base a good chunk of this video to discuss. And I'm going to discuss it on 3 fronts. The first front is I'm going to touch on you having common goals and understanding with regards to money. Second front, I'm going to talk about common budgeting. And the third front, I'm going to speak about ownership of property. Guys, any serious relationship out there need to be anchored in common interests and common goals. If your relationship is not anchored on common interests and common goals, chances are it is quite shaky right from the onset. But if these fundamentals are very clear, of course, most of them don't really need to be outspoken per se, but it's good to be very clear, both verbally and also in practice, so that you're aligned on this front. If you're aligned, it's going to mean that even your vision with regards to ownership of property out there, with regards to how the best way to go about it is, you're going to be very clear and actually going to be speaking the same language. If that's the case, then partners in relationship are going to be open even to disclose their financial sources. And by the way, people out there say, for example, should you really disclose your entire income to your partner, or should you keep some to yourself? You share your comments down below in the comment section. Do you really think, for example, you need to disclose your entire income to your partner, or should some of it be your own prerogative? You don't really need to share with them. But I think, regardless of the approach you choose, you need to have some form of good financial disclosure to some extent, so that even your partner knows to what extent they can, for example, plan together with you. And even so, you need to be on the same ground for you to be able even to manage expectations, depending on the stage at which your relationship is. For example, thinking about maybe attraction, infatuation, dating, to being in a very serious relationship. Maybe in the initial phases, maybe you are spending a lot of money to please that lady. And once you get into a serious committed relationship, maybe you start restructuring your financial goals so as to be able to build you together as a unit. But if it is not clear, then someone out there may be thinking, for example, you are stingy, and yet you've just structured how best to build your wealth together, right? So be very clear with regards to what your goals are and also your financial ambitions. And now, that leads me to the second part, budgeting. Also, budget as a unit. And I'm saying so because this is the best way for you to be able to drop off those tags. Like, for example, someone is stingy, someone is generous. And I'm saying so because in case you budget together as a unit, you're going to have the very clear horizon with regards to everything you go possibly spend the money on, whether it is spending the money on groceries, spending money on even purchasing new clothes, spending money on even, for example, bills out there, you spending money on even, for example, going out, surprising your partner and so forth, you spending money, for example, on education, you spending money, for example, on a saving plan, you putting money down, for example, on investments and so forth. This is going to really assist you be at par with regards to where your reach is when it comes to matters finances, and even so, what your future ambitions are and how you're working towards planning on how you're going to achieve these future ambitions. All that is going to be sorted through budgeting. Ensure you budget together so that also it's going to assist you manage your partner's expectation. Of course, we have those occasional surprises here and there, but through budgeting together is going to be able to really assist you manage expectations, because your partner won't really be expecting any surprises out there per se. And if a surprise comes, well and good, but really all the fundamentals are going to be catered for. And of course, in budgeting, also don't be selfish. You could find, for example, a scenario whereby one partner is really earning a substantial amount of money. If a partner is earning a substantial amount of money compared to the other partner, they can possibly foot most of the bills. Of course, the other partner can also contribute into it, but think about this way, for example. Maybe one partner is earning 4 times the salary of the other partner. I think the partner who is earning more money can actually assist foot most of the bills, but in the light of financial transparency, more so on the budgeting front, right? And then the third tip, which is ownership of assets. There needs to be very clear agreement and also clear approaches with regards to how you're going to own assets. Which kind of assets are you going to own individually? Which kind of assets, for example, are you going to own together? And even so, what really guides the ownership of assets? And I'm saying so because you could find, for example, one partner out there is purchasing assets continuously to their own name. The other partner out there might think, for example, they're stingy or even they don't care about them. But if there's clear communication, even guys who could agree, for example, one person is owning all the assets, but as long as there is clear communication and also it is very understandable as to why, that is the common decision between the two of you. If it's very clear, then I'm pretty sure we won't really even be having such tags. This is a stingy husband, this is a generous husband and stuff like that. Most so because all matters money in the relationship are going to be addressed fully. I hope you've gotten a tip or two from this video, which you can implement in a relationship for you to be able to have better financial health. What do you think about the tips I've shared with you? Share those down below in the comment section. Let's continue discussing there. I look forward to continue sharing with you such awesome videos like this one in subsequent series of videos I'm going to be making on matters money and also people out there. Bye bye and you all take care.